Following a maritime disaster, a highly intelligent robot named Roz finds herself marooned on a deserted island. In order to endure the challenging conditions, Roz forms connections with the local wildlife and cares for an orphan baby goose. Get ready to relive the adventure as we recap the story of animation film today, The Wild Robot, production year 2024. The story begins on a remote island where a family of otters discovers a robot named Roz, stranded against the rocks. Designed as a helper bot, Roz is meant to assist her users with various tasks. As a wave crashes over her, she climbs the rocks and observes a crab that is adapting and learning to survive in its environment. Roz attempts to lend a hand to the forest animals, but her efforts only lead to fear and anger due to misunderstandings. Determined to connect, she spends a few days programming herself to understand their language, eventually achieving clear communication. The animals refer to her as the Thing or the Monster. And although they try to destroy her, they flee when they realize she can repair herself after being knocked down. With no other options, Roz decides to activate a beacon within her to signal her creators, Universal Dynamics, for help. However, she gets struck by lightning, and soon after, greedy raccoons start rummaging through her parts. Using her hand, Roz manages to fend off the raccoons and mostly reassemble herself. One raccoon snatches her beacon, prompting Roz to chase after it, which inadvertently disturbs a bear named Thorn. The bear attacks Roz, causing her to tumble down a hill and crash into a tree, destroying a goose nest in the process. Roz discovers that she has unintentionally caused the death of a mother goose and all her eggs except for one. She takes the remaining egg with her to study it, but a fox named Fink snatches it away. Roz pursues Fink and retrieves the egg after he accidentally lands on a porcupine. After helping Fink by removing the quills stuck in him, Roz witnesses the egg hatching, revealing a small gosling that immediately imprints on her. Thinking she has fulfilled her duty, Roz attempts to leave the gosling alone, but he stubbornly follows her. In her efforts to reactivate her beacon, the gosling inadvertently breaks it. Roz then meets a possum named Pinktail and her 7 little ones. Once Pinktail realizes Roz means no harm, she explains that the gosling sees Roz as his mother. Although Roz doubts her ability to understand motherhood, she decides to embrace this new role after Pinktail describes what it means to raise the gosling. Fink offers to assist Roz in raising the gosling, though he mainly benefits from the free food. Roz names the gosling Brightbill and teaches him to call her Roz, as he struggles with her full name. She encounters a beaver named Paddler, who helps her learn how to build a home suitable for herself, Brightbill, and Fink. When Brightbill has difficulty sleeping, Fink entertains him with a story that portrays Roz as a heroic figure who came to his aid when he was feeling down. As the months pass, Roz's programming evolves and her speech becomes more natural. Brightbill grows older and is still mastering swimming before Roz encourages him to learn to fly. The other geese look down on Brightbill for mimicking Roz and being smaller than them. They also reveal to him the painful truth that Roz was responsible for the death of his mother and unhatched siblings, leading Brightbill to reject Roz as his mother. Roz returns to the cave where she first washed ashore, discovering the shattered and corroded remnants of other Rozembots. She successfully reactivates one, feeling overwhelmed by the challenges of motherhood. The reactivated bot realizes Roz has reprogrammed herself and hands her its beacon to summon Universal Dynamics for her retrieval. As Roz prepares to leave, a conversation with Fink leads her to decide to help Brightbill learn to fly first. she recruits an older goose named Thunderbolt for assistance. Roz and Brightbill begin to make strides in their training, but they catch the attention of a goose named Longneck, who leads the migration flock. He praises Roz for her teaching methods and points out Brightbill's uniqueness among the geese. But he also warns her that they will depart in a week, and Brightbill needs to build his endurance. When migration day finally arrives, Brightbill successfully takes to the skies with the other birds. However, Roz feels a wave of emotion at the thought of saying goodbye, prompting her to rush to a higher vantage point to catch one last glimpse of him. Longneck notices her and guides the flock close enough for Roz to see them one final time. She then attempts to activate her beacon to signal universal dynamics, but ultimately decides against it and returns to her home in the forest. During their migration, the flock encounters a fierce storm and seeks refuge in the HQ's greenhouse. While trying to stay hidden, Brightbill is spotted by other Rozembots, which activate and perceive the birds as a threat, launching an attack. Longneck realizes that Brightbill's familiarity with Roz is crucial for navigating the situation. As armed bots begin firing laser blasts at the flock, Brightbill leads them toward an escape route, but Longneck bravely takes a fatal shot to protect them. Roz wakes up in her home to discover that Fink has been sleeping beside her since the snowstorm, and frigid temperatures have made it hard for the other animals to endure. Determined to help, Roz braves the cold with Fink to gather all the forest animals, including Thorn. However, tensions rise among the animals as they are cramped inside Roz's house, leading to conflict. Fink steps in to mediate and suggests a truce. Thorn consents, prompting the others to settle down so they can hibernate peacefully. In springtime, the animals venture out of their homes and the birds return from their long journeys. Brightbill joyfully reunites with Fink, but Fink is too sorrowful, mourning Longneck alongside the geese. When Brightbill sets out to find Roz, he discovers that she has already left the house. Roz walks until a universal dynamics ship lands nearby. A tentacled robot named Vantra has been dispatched to bring Roz back, as the higher-ups at UD are eager to extract any information she might have gathered during her time on the island. Roz agrees to accompany Vantra, but just then, Fink arrives to inform her that Brightbill has come back for her. In a hurry, Roz makes a break for it, prompting Vantra to send other armed UD robots after her. The animals band together to defend Roz, toppling the robots and dismantling them. However, Vantra triggers a self-destruct sequence in the robots, igniting a fire in the forest and seizing the chance to capture Roz. Brightbill leads the geese in a daring rescue mission for Roz. Vantra informs her that her memories will be erased to reprogram her. He breaks into the ship, only to find Roz appearing lifeless. Brightbill snuggles up to her, calling her his mom and expressing his love. This heartfelt moment revives Roz as her energy seems to stem more from her core than her head, almost as if she has developed a new heart. She responds to Brightbill, telling him she loves him too. Vantra attempts to take them both down, but the other geese retaliate by using the ship's weapons against him, ultimately destroying him. Meanwhile, Roz's hand detaches to activate a magnet that drains Vantra of all its power. As they plummet back to the forest, Roz safely encloses Brightbill within her body. Meanwhile, the other animals rush to the tallest tree in the forest, which Paddler had been trying to fell for ages, redirecting river water to extinguish the flames. Once the chaos subsides, the other animals celebrate Roz as a hero. Yet, she explains that she must return to universal dynamics for the sake of the other animals, as Vantra had warned that they would keep pursuing her. Fink feels down, fearing he's losing his only friend. But Pinktail, Thorn, and Paddler reassure him that they are his friends too. Roz says her goodbyes to Brightbill and the rest of the animals while she waits for another UD ship to come. As months go by, the animals construct a new shelter to keep warm during the winter. Fink shares tales of Roz with the younger animals. Meanwhile, we see Roz back in the greenhouse, using her old Rozum name again. Bright Bill pops up from one of the plants and she tells him, "But you can call me Roz." Bright Bill then wraps his arms around his mother once again. After the credits roll, Fink and Paddler plant a new tree in the spot where the tallest tree used to be. And showing this story ends here. Appreciate a subscribe, and please remember to like. Thanks for watching.